Hi, welcome back to Hollie Hobbies. Let's craft a pumpkin wreath using a Dollar Tree wreath frame that will be a fun and budget-friendly way to decorate for the fall season. We will add colorful beads that will give your wreath an extra playful touch to make it stand out. With just a few materials and a bit of creativity, you can craft a charming wreath that adds a festive flair to your home. Let's dive into this easy project that's perfect for all skill levels. Hi, welcome back to Hollie Hobbies. I am really excited for this design. This one has been on my list of to-dos for a couple years now, and I never can seem to find the time to get to it. So this year is the year that I have been getting to all of those designs that I've been wanting to do. So we're having fun with the pumpkin wreath frames. If you haven't seen my poly burlap pumpkin wreath tutorial, I do have that on my channel as well. And now we're going to try to create some different designs using this fun pumpkin Dollar Tree wreath frame. So you need one of those. We're also going to use some material of your choice, and you only need enough to cover the back of this, just this part. And I have some of the Dollar Tree nautical rope, the burlap rope, and I also have these beads. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I got 4 strands, so hopefully that will be enough. And we're also going to take a toilet paper tube here, and we're going to use it to extend our stem. So let's get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is disconnect these wires from the bottom, the ones that are curved up. And you're going to take some heavy duty wire clippers, and we will just go ahead and clip those, all 6 of these at the bottom part of our frame. All right, so we have those disconnected, and now we're going to add our beads. So we're going to add our beads. I got these strands at Hobby Lobby, and they're in the fall section, all 40% off right now. It's a great time to grab all of your fall decor. And what we're going to do is add these onto the wreath bars here, and I'm going to keep them in the same order that they're on the strand, and I'm just going to keep adding them one by one until we fill up these wires with these cute little beads. And I thought this strand was really cute with all the different shapes and colors, and I thought it would just add some dimension and texture than using just the plain wood beads. And this is going to be really cute. So we're just going to go around and add these cute little beads to our pumpkin wreath here. Until we get down to the bottom. So we've filled up the wire here, and we're at the very bottom of it, and now we are going to glue our sections together where we had clipped it off. And we're just going to place some hot glue right on that bar and the other metal piece, and we are going to glue those down. And what I'm doing, I'm just pushing that bead down onto that open part right there, and we're going to let that sit until it dries. Okay, So that is how we're going to do each of these strands. And look at how cute that looks already. So now we're going to continue. We're going to let that dry a little bit more because we don't want that to move around on us. And then we're going to do that same thing on all the other wires. And now I'm working my way onto the next wire with my beads, staying in that same pattern that they are on the strand that I bought it in. And I got 4 strands, but one of these strands is going a lot further than I thought it was going to, so we'll have some cute strands to do some different things with. And we're adding, you want to get it close to the end. See right there, there's a little piece of the end. Then I'll add some on that little end as well. And we'll put the end of the bead on that little nub and hold it there while it's gluing together. All right, simple as that. We already have 3 strands done. And now we're going to work our way onto the other 3. When you get to the last bead, what you can do too is you can always on one end just put some glue in the hole of the bead and then slide your bead on. And now we're down to our last wire here. Okay. And all right. So there we have all of our beads on our pumpkin frame, and look at how cute that looks so far. I am loving it with the different shaped beads and colors. So next we're going to take our material, and I have it cut a little bit bigger than the pumpkin frame, and I'm going to iron it with some starch. I want to get all those wrinkles out because this is going to be the back part that's going to show through the wreath. All right, and I made it just a little bit bigger than the wreath, so it's easier to work with. So this is what we have so far. So now we are going to glue. We're going to try to get all this material glued around our wreath frame. So let's start with the sides here, and we're going to put some glue there. And I'm going to bring my material around my wire frame, and I'm going to use a little clip right here to hold it. Just going to hold it to get it started while I do this other side here. And I'm just adding the glue onto the frame, and I'm bringing my material around. Okay, so we're just going to work around this frame in little sections at a time and bringing the material up over that bar and holding it. And then when we're all done, we're going to trim off this material. So this top part we want to do first, and then we'll pull it tight as we glue the bottom to make it nice and tight on our design. Just take it little sections at a time. And I have these cut right in front of the little bead sections here to make it easier to get this material glued. And we're just doing little section at a time. And now that we're on the bottom part and the top is already glued, we want to make sure that we're pulling it nice and tight. We don't want any gaps in this material. And as we're going through, we're just giving it a good tug. We don't have to worry about this. We could just cut that one off because we're going to be making a pumpkin stem. So this is what we have so far. We're going to let everything dry really good, and then we're going to come around and trim off all this extra material that's around that outside frame. So while we're waiting for that to dry really good before we trim it, we are going to add an extension on this pumpkin stem. And what I did was I just took a cardboard toilet paper tube. I cut it a little open in the center there, and I took a little, about a ½ inch off of it. And we're going to do something like this, where it gets a little bit more narrow at the top. And we're going to go ahead and tape that and attach it to our design. So what I'm going to do is hole punch 2 holes on each side through the whole tube. Okay, we're going to do something like that, and then we're going to connect it with these zip ties to the frame. So we just made our little pumpkin stem extension here, and we will be covering this with some twine. So that's where we're at so far. So now we're going to go ahead and trim off this excess fabric here. So we're going to go around and trim our fabric, and you want to get it as close to this bar as you can. Just going to trim off the excess. Careful not to cut through that bottom section. So now we're going to take a piece of this twine, this nautical twine from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start by just stuffing that under the zip ties. And we're going to just wrap our cardboard stem. You don't have to worry about here because all this is going to be covered with a a bow and some florals. So we're just going to go around and around, gluing this twine around our cardboard stem extender here, aka a toilet paper cardboard holder here, and just going to continue wrapping and gluing until we cover up this stem. And then once we get to the top, we'll just kind of spiral it on top of itself. Going a little bit shorter as we go in. And then we'll just place this inside. We'll just kind of tuck it just like so. So there we have our pumpkin stem. We have it wrapped in our twine. And now we're going to finish off our design. I have some more of this nautical rope. We're probably going to need a couple of these from the Dollar Tree. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go around this outside part of our frame, and we're going to glue this rope piece by piece right on the inside edge of this frame. And then you can see the white part of the material. It's just going to look good with that little contrast, and that's what we're going to do, is go around and glue this whole twine around our whole wreath frame to give it that finishing touch. And then we will be making a pretty bow and add some florals. So let me get started here. And we're just going to do a little sections at a time. So we eventually make our way around the whole wreath frame. And if you need to cut an end off, you want to make sure that you add some Scotch tape. Like right here, I'm going to cut this part off. And that way the end is not going to unravel. And now I'm going to start over here. Kind of go right under that bead. You won't be able to see any of that stuff right there. So don't worry about being all perfect around this edge here, because we're going to be adding flowers, a bow, and it's going to cover up all of that. And we're making our way around section by section, a little bit at a time, going around our little beads here. And we're coming on an end, and make sure we tape this end off. So I've made it all the way around with my nautical rope, and we've finished off the stem. And the only thing we have left to do now is we're going to make a pretty bow here and add some florals at the top here for our final embellishment. And now we're going to embellish it however you want. I chose these some florals that I just cut off what I wanted from. I usually get a big bunch from Hobby Lobby and with the mixed varieties, and just clip things off. And so this is what I decided I'm going to do, is something with these little things there. This is going to be in the middle, and these two off to the side. So let's go ahead and hot glue all of these down. I added my embellishments, and look how pretty that looks. And then I went ahead and on the back, I added a zip tie right under those 2 zip ties that we used for the paper tube roll. And that completes our design for today. I hope you loved working with the pumpkin wreath frame and that you'll come back to my channel and craft with me some more. And in the description box down below, you will find the link to my Amazon store where I list all my favorite crafting supplies that I use in my tutorials. And please subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, and you will receive notifications when I release new tutorials. And please leave me a comment. This really helps me and my channel. YouTube will push my content out to more people. And I hope that you'll come back and craft with me some more. Thanks for watching Hollie Hobbies. From my heart to yours. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow me for more wreath and crafting ideas. Thanks for watching Hollie Hobbies. From my heart to yours.